So hello guys and welcome back. We are gonna get into round number 2, and you guys saw that matchup. That is gonna be Artanis TC versus ViRaOne. We are gonna get into a PvZ instead. Yes, we're gonna get some Protoss, and joining me is a fellow Protoss player. It is gonna be Mr. PandaUser this time for our second broadcast.
Woo!
Ooh, nice. Good intro, Panda. Welcome. So Panda, a little different from Mr. Extinct. Extinct is a pro player for StarCraft. Panda is more or less a caster I have worked with for quite a while already. He's been in the StarCraft scene way longer than I am. Freaking old man right here. And yeah, we were able to do a few broadcasts last year for the CBOL program, which is really cool. And you know, he does a lot of card game stuff along the way. So before that though, we just want to be quickly shouting out first things first. This is our player list of the people who did join the Brood War League today. So you can see that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 4, 20 players coming in. So big shout outs to every single one of you joining our first Brood War League, and I hope you guys are having a good time. I saw a bunch of people also asking for shoutouts to Stale Cookie, as well as Agent X and her dad. And yeah, you know, there's gonna be some cool stuff here and now, guys. And we're gonna be casting. Basically, we're gonna be looking to cast on a per round basis. But if there are a few spicy ones here and there, we'll be looking to do what is there at the same time. So yeah, shoutouts to everyone who is in the stream right now. And I can really feel like we're more of a. It feels more casual, honestly, than a tournament so far, Mr. Panda. What you say? What you got?
Well, yeah, I think it's a bit more casual because we can't really watch it live right now because you mentioned it yourself. It's a bit laggy.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't mention it. Also, you know, we just enjoy what we got, and we are gonna be looking to get into our matchup. There's a PvZ, so it's Artanis TC versus ViRaOne. And our first map in this best of 3 will be La Mancha 1.1. So first things first though, I just do want to introduce our players real quick. So for the Artanis TC, if you guys have watched some of our StarCraft tournaments, StarCraft 2 tournaments before, this is Artanis PH. He's a long-time player, even going all the way back into Brood War, and he's part of the TC clan, says Mr. Extinct before he had to hop out. A local community, so that's something really cool, and he's still playing that Protoss, that's for sure. ViRaOne in the meantime on the Zerg side, don't have too much information on that guy, so I'm gonna be looking to have a clean slate there. But if I remember correctly, I have more of a different story about ViRaOne. Like, let me just quickly recall. Like, I know for a fact that ViRaOne was he had something. Yeah, so I think he had a R6 logo, so I think he's part of the R6 community. Yes, sir. I was like, why is there an R6 logo here in the Brood War thing? So shouts to ViRaOne. He's gonna be looking to match up against Artanis TC in this BO3. So, Mr. Panda, what are you expecting coming into this first game, especially as it's the PvZ variant?
PvZ, you know, if it was me, I wouldn't be surprised if the Zerg opened with a pool and then 6 Zerglings. Like, it's so common even in the ladder. Because you know your opponent's a Protoss and you're a Zerg player.
Yeah, and it really is something like, for a Protoss, I've seen in the more modern day and age that they really have been able to play those expansions early on. Forge Fast Expand or Gateway Fast Expand is something to really face off, but it's usually the Overpool, if I remember correctly, for the Zerg. So anyway, it seems like we are getting ready to get into this game, and yeah, let's move into La Mancha 1.1. Sounds good in the hood. Let's get into this matchup.
Yep. So, but you know, all joking aside, the Zerg could maybe hatch opener then into the pool, just like a regular match. The Protoss can go greedy actually as well. It can be maybe a gate opener.
That's true. But let me just quickly fix up those positions again. It's P11 here for Artanis, and then here for ViRaOne, it is Z1. So introducing first and foremost, on the top right, it's gonna be that. Is this purple or pink? Is this purple or pink, Panda?
That's purple.
It's purple? Are you sure? I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in. Magenta, lavender, I don't know. It's one of the two. It's the Zerg player of ViRaOne. And his opponents on the top left. This is a blue, but a darker shade of blue. It's indigo right here, right now.
Indigo?
Yeah, I think
looks
it's indigo.
bad.
It's indigo, I think. Dude, are we colorblind? It's Artanis
No, we're not.
TC. So yeah,
We can.
PVZ. PVZ immediately. Oh, that's a very fast pool, Mr. Pan. That's a very, 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 very fast spawning pool
I
already
told
at the
you.
very
I
start.
told you. I just told you.
Ay, nako. PandaUser, the cheese master. That's for sure. And this guy, I know what a hatchery is. I think it's a thing. It has a little bit of a mouth. It kind of looks like a butthole, honestly. Not gonna lie. It kind of looks like a
It's a,
butthole.
yeah, with very sharp hooves.
Yes, but hey, all joking aside, oh, that's a very quick shot, and Artanis TC should immediately adjust to this. What is he gonna build? He's looking to wall out the natural immediately with that forge coming online. I just want to mention that La Mancha is a pretty familiar map. It was all the way into 2011's brought out for Shinban Bank Pro League as well, and if I remember correctly, it has a windmill all the way in the middle, shaped. There's a shape in the desert. Like, this is a part of it. There's like a windmill that crosses all over into the middle of the map, and it is basically Spanish, or it is basically named after a region in Spain having a lot of windmills to begin with. But this is looking very spicy already at the very beginning, because ViRaOne, with a very early pool, gonna be looking to bring those Zerglings at the very start. But he only has 6 of these drones right now, so he is really investing to get some good economic damage done, or maybe going for the killing blow already. But this is already the stopping point. A folded cannon in the way will pretty much hamper anything that the Zerg wants to do.
Yeah, it's basically gonna be walled off, and it was a good scout. Like, if you know your opponent's a Zerg, especially in World War, you're gonna have to fast scout. Like, I'm gonna say it right now, because this is 8 minerals. This isn't 5 minerals that we're always used to. It's 8 minerals, so you're gonna have more minerals than usual.
Yeah, and that's something to note. Like, it has to be, you are able to get a lot more efficiency per unit, per worker. And the thing to note is, in StarCraft 1, the workers have different animations and the like. So technically, it's the probe that is able to get the most minerals in terms of over time. So already we have the photon cannon, and you can see Artanis TC is just basically, I'm gonna hug this photon cannon, I'm gonna make sure it's protected. A photon cannon is a very soft building that can still die to these many Zerglings, but hey, already as ViRaOne goes for the scout with the drone, he has to back on out, and this is looking really bad already for our Zerg at the very start, because that probe to drone count is not something a Zerg ever wants to be down on.
Yeah. And there's more workers for the Protoss player, so he could expand, or he could immediately go for the gateways.
Yeah,
But seeing how things are, if Artanis scouts this again, he can actually go for more gates and then just attack the Zerg immediately if he scouts.
it does help. But anyway, in the meantime, we do see it's a 2 photon cannon system and 2 photon cannons into the natural. So for Artanis TC, he's playing safe and sorry since he saw the cheese coming on, and with basically that 6 pool at the very start. He isn't gonna go for the Nexus first, but it really is basically Artanis in a good spot at the very beginning. Scouting out the top right was a very lucky guess for him, if I do say so myself. You have a 1 out of 4 chance, 1 out of 3 chance actually, to see, yeah, where Apontes, as this is a 4-player map and you're already on one of those spots. So there you go, Artanis TC getting the scout on that 6 pool, and that really hurts ViRaOne in whatever he wants to do in the first place. More cannons not coming online, Zealot gonna be in the way as well, but I feel like this is already a perfect wall. There is no way to get in whatsoever.
That's actually too much cannon. Like, the max is 2. Just 2.
Nah, I think 2 cannons is the safe option. Going for 3 is a little overkill, because he is wasting time right now before getting that second Nexus. Might allow ViRaOne to try and come back in that drone count, but as long as ViRaOne is stuck on one base and just running around with these Zerglings doing absolutely nothing, well, it really is the Zerg way behind by this point. Metabolic Boost still coming online, second Nexus now gonna be looking into the fray. And I'm just waiting for our standard play here into Protoss. And Mr. PandaUser, what was, if you remember when you were a kid, what was basically the PVZ matchup? What units would you remember using against any Zerg?
Since this wasn't online and you were playing with people, you would come to an agreement. Hey, let's not attack each other for the first
20 minutes. Oh, 8.
Yeah, not
In or 8.
It should be 8, because we were so into this game. So the openers would be like dragoons, and then the zerglings and hydras.
A lot of positioning, man. Look at that positioning on that zealot in the middle of the line. Get some value there. But that's a very good point. So if I remember correctly, way back when, really the composition of choice against Zerg was just going for a heavy gateway orientation.
Yeah.
They're not called charge slots, right? They're leg
They're
zealots.
just-
No, it's the leg upgrades. What do you call them? The leg zealots, the zelegs. Whatever. You get the Citadel of the Adun. Citadel of Adun. You get the leg enhancements, the enhanced zealots. I'll just call them the Usain Bolts of StarCraft Brood War. I'll call that till someone corrects me. But anyway, you get those leg enhancements, and you're playing those Dragoons with range, and you basically try to brawl against your opponent as much as possible. Those Zealots are such a big component of many, many fights. But into the 2010s, if I remember correctly, it was really the resurgence of Corsairs as a thing, as popularized by a few players here and there, and then you have your Bisu build basically and all the like. So Corsairs are the big thing, and then you have Dark Templars at the same time. So Corsairs are basically shutting down any kind of air units. It can shut down Overlords. But the biggest thing with the Corsair is the Scout, and then Dark Templar are basically able to get free reign. If you bring in some Overlords, that's what the Corsairs are for. They just shut it down. Anti-air, anti-ground, and a pretty spicy Narazim lineup to boot. So we'll see if Artanis TC is actually going to go for it. He is going to get that Stargate as expected with 2 of these Nexus points. And see guys, this is a matchup I know, okay? I know my PVC. I know my PVC. And there you go, leg enhancement's gonna be coming online as well.
Yeah, he could potentially go for Dark Templars. Because as soon as you build Stargate, the best unit to build is the Corsairs, like you mentioned, because they're fast and they can hunt for Overlords like almost immediately. If the Zerg player doesn't realize this and doesn't defend the Overlord, you could potentially lose the game just by spending on just Overlords and not have scouts, even detectors, which is the important part.
That's really true. It reminds me of the Phoenix Adept build in StarCraft 2. It's very much the same kind of thing, but Dark Templar are a lot more spicy, that's for sure. And they turn into Dark Archons here and now, so, you know, mind control and all the like, those abilities can be interesting. But here comes the Corsair here in this PVZ. It's a good day to die, but today it is a good day for you to get some scouting information on the north side of La Mancha. We do see some Sulky colonies though, and a few more creep colonies along the way, Evolution Chamber as well, to get something going on. And there's absolutely nothing that ViRaOne can do about this, and he is supply blocked by this point. He's at 26-26. If this goes down, that's pretty much him forced to build Overlords yet again, and this is really hurting our Zerg player, because Artanis TC is doing exactly what he wants. He's getting that +1, he's getting those speed lots looking to come online, he has a Dragoon ready to go just in case, and I'm just waiting for that Templar Archives for those DT next on the list.
Yeah, like it's pretty obvious. The Evolution Chamber was for 1, but I think he needs to build Spore Colony. Oh, there's a Spore Colony right there.
He has one of these Spore Colonies, but honestly not the biggest deal. For now, ViRaOne just has to make sure that his Overlords are safe and sound, but with them on different parts of the map, this is gonna hurt, because ViRaOne has to use a lot of this gas right now to really build up on that supply. Artanis TC has been in control of this fight at the very start, and with just one scout, Panda, it has really turned the tides of this battle. The 6-pool became no more, instead looking like a kiddie pool instead. Vodacans right now getting hits, the Druid on the outside, not going to be safe whatsoever, taking the brunt of the damage. Eventually it will go down. Zealots right now looking to keep up in the front line, and eventually Artanis TC with a really good hold. 42 probes to 17. If only ViRaOne knew the situation, he'd probably call it here and now.
Yeah. I mean, scouting in a PvZ matchup is everything, because you know what you'll counter, you know what your opponent's weakness is, what unit is going to be reactionary, etc, etc. And as I see it, Artanis is completely taking control right now. He's even got 4 gateways.
Yeah, and you know what else is gonna be taking control? The TV behind you, that's for sure, Mr. Panda.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay, don't worry about it, as you might have to worry if you are that Zerg player, because these are a lot of gateways. It's a 4 gateways on that natural, on that main, another gateway on that natural. We are gonna see some High Templar coming online here and now. What is it gonna be though here for Tannis TC? Seems like he's gonna get that Psionic Storm going up into this game. And the very interesting parts of StarCraft 1 is if you don't upgrade anything, the High Templar do nothing. They do absolutely nothing. There's no attack, there is no abilities that come with it, and they're just a floating unit that can turn into Archons, that's for sure. But here in Brood War, these Corsairs in position. I'd love to see some Disruption Web, but if I remember correctly, still need that Fleet Beacon to get any kind of tech, any kind of ability usage into that one. But here and now, more and more of these upgrades looking to come online, +2 even for a Tannis TC. And usually in a comp like this, you do want to go for your timing attack after your +1 is around at 90%. But hey, if you can build Archons, if you can just have a big army to boot, well, you are just gonna have a good time. Because ViRaOne again is stuck in supply, 26 supply max, and he's using 33 of it. Oh my god! If only you could see the stats, guys.
It's 83 to 33.
It's ridiculous. The lead is way high up, and I feel like that's one of the things that make Brood War games long. Is you don't get the scouting information, you don't really realize what kind of hole you're in, and just go like, I'm just gonna try my best. And when you see the big army coming your way, well, that's pretty much gonna be the punishment there. And then Corsair Stone versus Mutalisk, and if I remember correctly, these do splash damage, right? Or they have fast AoE.
Yeah, they do.
They do have a very, very fast fire rate, and they're really hampering any kind of mutant clump up, that's for sure. Spore Colony still dealing the damage, still in range. One Corsair all the way to the front line, and here comes the brawl up into the air. Gleavor's being thrown. Good micro here and now from both sides. The Corsair is able to get onto the other side of the coin, and hey, ViRaOne defending sure with the Mutos, but again, those Overlords need to be protected so much.
At this moment, he knew that there's stuck Dragoon. Feels bad.
And look at this Panda. ViRaOne sees, this is all he sees. He has no idea what's going on. It's like when you're snickering about someone and you're saying, he doesn't know. He really doesn't know absolutely anything. What is going on? This gateway is gonna go down, as it seems like our Tannis TC is done with this game. He's like, I'm gonna go win. That poor Dragoon is dancing. He becomes a cheerleader basically. He's stuck in the middle. Pretty bad valid point there.
There's one thing you can hate about
even the Zealot! The Zealot! Oh, he gets out! He gets out! Good job, Zealot. You made it out. It's like one of those running games and you can't touch the Dragoon, that kind of thing. And Dragoons are so derpy. And it was really funny that one big point of contention in Remastered was, can they still keep the Dragoons derpy? Because that's one really good way to balance Dragoon. If they were microed and similar like Stalkers, I think they would be very, very strong with their range. Honestly, and you know, their clunkiness is a big factor of what keeps them balanced. But here and now, the Mutable gonna get hampered by the Corsairs. Who's gonna take the win here? And now we see the Screech is on, as also a lot of damage being done by these Corsairs. But eventually, though, they will fall to the hand of the Mutas. There's just way too many by this point. Never mind, it's the Corsairs, but the AoE instead. It seems like that micro from our Tannis TC at the last moment, keeping 4 Corsairs alive to keep the damage done. ViRaOne very confident. He felt like he had the advantage there and kept them in position, and it seems like it's bait and switch not only for ViRaOne but also on our side, because our Tannis TC comes out and that splash damage really packing such a big punch.
Yeah. No, as far as I know, Corsairs have 1 armor, so that's why they're weaker again. That's why Mutas are weaker again. Weaker than Corsairs.
Zero armor even.
Mutas have 0 armor. Do you see? Corsairs have 1 plating, and I remember that clearly because as soon as you see Corsairs, you're supposed to build Hydras and Lurkers. You're supposed to go on all ground army, not an air army versus a air pro.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna need something like Devourers or Guardians to really get any value of these flyers, because he has a lot of mutants already. He's very invested, that's for sure, of what he wants to do. He's playing that 2 base Mutalisk link composition, and that's pretty much it. Look at these Overlords having convention all the way with each other. But here comes the attack already. It's looking really dire here, because Tannis TC having a lot in the back. Oh my god, those Zealots in the front line just pushing on in with those leg advancements, just really getting in the way. Archon's getting his splash damage, and this has to be game. ViRaOne gonna be leading that one, and victory goes over to our Tannis TC.
Yeah, so like I said, the composition was a bit off for the Zerg player. Lurkers would have been better there, and Hydra, because Hydras versus the Corsairs, and then the Lurkers versus the Ground Army.
Just ridiculous. It was just such a ridiculous lead at the very start. It should work if you guys are having any stream issues. We're all good naman on that, and so yeah, hopefully you guys can tune on into this. But yeah, La Mancha is taken by Artanis TC, and besides the fact that he got the scout on the pool panda, what do you think was the biggest thing that Artanis did right for that game?
He scouted properly.
No, I mean I said besides that.
Oh, besides that.
Besides that, I literally said no, not that one.
I'm sorry.
So, come on, give me something. Give me something else.
Aside from taking advantage of the opponent, he made sure he had enough units and he reacted properly to the situation. And he took advantage of the advantage he already had.
Very well done.
Like taking out the observers, making sure he's not getting scouted, preventing scouts. And the run-in basically was denied.
Absolutely. And if you guys are having issues, just a quick little FYI, you can change the quality of the stream. Since this is a partner account anyway, then you're gonna have the full shebang. You have your 1080p, you got your 160, whatever the lowest is, whatever your internet can handle. So hopefully you guys can find the viewing experience that allows you to enjoy the SCPH Brood War League. But speaking of the Brood War League, so that is the first game done and dusted, and Artanis TC will take that one. Our second map now on the list will be Neo Sylphid 2.0. And talking about this map instead, I do want to bring up the fact that for Neo Sylphid, well, this is a very interesting map because if I remember correctly, it is a 3-player map instead, and the 2.0 version has a lot of changes basically from the 1.71 patch. It has really a few changes in terms of minerals and the gas, but the latest version is really the one that many people are accustomed to. And one fun fact about Neo Sylphid, guys, is it is a map that is pretty recent. It has been used only since 2019, has been built for SCPH Remastered, and there are going to be few elements that we'll be talking about in the game itself that you see have been basically brought to Remastered from StarCraft 2. If I remember correctly, Panda, this is one of the maps we played before, and this was the map that I got very confused in terms of the positioning, in terms of those walls. I was like, where do I go? Where do I even go? Like, what do you remember about Neo Sylphid?
3 positions in the map, right?
Yes, sir.
As well, for some reason, units, even if you put them at the same spot, they don't really go there for some reason.
Oh yeah, the clipping is some ridiculous stuff. It's very hard to actually get them through to the other side, but hey, it is what it is, and we are just gonna be setting things up here. And now we have a Zerg, we have our Protoss, and it is Artanis TC with a 1-0 lead so far. So if he does take this one, well, he's gonna be the one moving on to the next. In the meantime, our Zerg player is looking for a little bit of redemption and looking to get things done. Seems like though we are ready to go, and let's get into the fight. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Neo Sylphid, and this is game number 2 out of 3 here between Artanis TC and ViRaOne. So first things first though, introducing our Protoss player on the 12 o'clock position on the north side of Neo Sylphid. It's one map ahead for Artanis TC. And then his opponents here on the bottom left this time, honestly, by the 8 o'clock position. I know my time. I only had to bring out a watch real quick just to figure things out. And he's here by around 8 o'clock, maybe, around 8:30-ish, 8:30, 8:35, that kind of thing. It's the yellow Zerg of ViRaOne. So yeah, Neo Sylphid here in now Panda. And the first thing to notice about this map, and this is an even ground, but here on this part of the map, there is a cocoon that actually gets in the way of units as well as buildings.
I think I think that's a rock right now, right? That's not a cocoon
It's like a
anymore.
cocoon. It's like a Zerg cocoon that they use
Yeah.
as. It's really interesting. It's basically the unbreakable plates of StarCraft 1. And yeah, Brood War action, getting a little bit of flavor, a little bit of modernization, that's for sure. But here and now, we are gonna see ViRaOne go for a 8 drone into a pretty early overlord, considering gonna be an overpull before the 9 drone mark. So a little before the optimal parts there. Artana Stacy in the meantime does want to go for a pylon in the middle and a pseudo proxy gateway coming in to our Protoss's field of view.
The cheeser is going to cheese.
Yeah, double gateway, double trouble. And in the middle of the map, already scouted at here by ViRaOne. So he knows this is coming, and there you go. This is the unbreakable, unkillable lurker egg that we're talking about. It even has a move command for some reason, but it just gets in the way. It's one thing here. I'm not sure if you can actually kill it eventually. I've never seen that happen, but here on the Sylphid, well, you can move on to a pretty safe natural, but that choke is really interesting because it funnels your units very tightly, as it's like two blocks only, so things are really gonna have to be lining up to get outside of your main base. But anyway, these are going to be the gateways ready to go, and Zealots will be the next priority. We also see a pylon being built onto Artanis TC's main base, just in case he's going to be looking to get a little bit of that forge action and get a cannon to protect his lines. But the biggest thing right now that Artanis can really do is scout out his opponent, see the Zerglings coming online. The probe will die immediately, but the Zealots are looking to get in position. And now this is do or die time for both of these players, because Artanis needs to get in the way, needs to find a way to stop a potential Zerg run on by, because his middle line will get hampered pretty heavily if that is going to be the case. Looking to play goalkeeper right now here, PandaUser, and ViRaOne will go for a little bit of the poke action. These Zerglings versus that Zealot running on away. What do you think is gonna be the plan for these two players?
Well, it's Artanis' job to kill those Zerglings if he can, but at the same time, ViRaOne has to take out the pylon in the middle. Hello, so like a clash between the four Zerglings.
Oh my god, the Zealot has walked in. He's casually marching to that main base, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I think ViRaOne has to decide what he's wants to do. He's looking for the brawl against these Zealots, but at the same time, these are way too many of them. He can go for a run on into that main base, but it seems like Artanis is setting up to make himself a little bit of funnel with those pylons to begin with. And these Zerglings, well, they're gonna be very soft against those probes. There's a lot of Zealots already from Artanis CC, and he's looking for a very quick coup de grace at the 3-minute mark.
There's too many Zealots. Like, it's unimaginable to get back from this. Like, two Zealots can already take out 4 or more Zerglings, as long as you micro it properly.
They're very tanky. I feel like this is such a good spot here for Artanis. Look at this. This is where the funnel happens, and ViRaOne is brought into the choke just to die. Damn,
yeah.
Well executed.
But you took advantage of the choke point. That's great, dude.
Absolutely unstoppable so far, but here we go with the fight again. And here on the Sylphid, one thing I've seen Zerg players do is they can actually hide a hatch in their main base. They can pretend they're only on one hatch, but here on like this dark part of the map, you can put a hatchery there that won't be seen on the initial scout. So it's something you keep in mind if you see this map in the future as a Zerg player. But this is looking really dire here for ViRaOne. He cannot go for his second base, and when you're against a one base versus one base scenario in the PvZ, you are just gonna get outclassed by those units, because here are the Zealots already looking to march on in. It doesn't even matter what the micro is all about, because this is a lot of these walkers looking to get the push on. Side blades are abound. Artanis CC in complete control, still keeping up with the pressure, and it seems like the Zealot run on in very effective. ViRaOne unable to roll out with those Evo Chambers, unable to get that second base up and running, and these are the Zealots just dominating the fight overall.
Yeah, that's GG. Okay. So, in this matchup, like, I think the Zerg, as soon as he saw the Zealots rushing in, he could have made sunken colonies. As far as I know, you can create creep colonies and sunken colonies if you're responding to it.
Yeah, I think so too. That's what happens there, and unfortunately, for our Zerg player, just not reacting at the right time. I feel like ViRaOne missed out on an opportunity. He had to decide if he was going to use those links to defend or if he could go for a potential trade onto the base of Artanis TC, but it never happened, never amounted to anything, and he didn't really know where his opponent was to begin with. So he was looking to get that pylon in the middle instead, but Artanis already in position with a number of those zealots and playing into the funnel, just the worst thing ViRaOne could do in a scenario like that. Like you said, creep colonies could have really helped out in that situation. Just play them close. And one big deal for a Zerg player is in a matchup like this, in many matchups actually, there is a right place to put that spawning pool. Usually, it's somewhere that you can block out access to that hatchery. You use the extractor just a little bit to form up a wall, and it really helps out to go for your cascades, to get in the way to protect your mineral line, and unfortunately, ViRaOne was just unable to really do those fundamentals that hurt him in the end. Yeah, Artanis CC able to exploit basically the matchup, basically able to exploit the inexperience on the side of ViRaOne, and he takes a pretty decisive 2-0, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's a GG right there. No one is BM here. It's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry about ViRaOne. It's a learning experience, and facing off against a veteran such like Artanis TC. You know, it's a hard matchup, that's for sure, especially for your first match in. But well done to Artanis, taking care of both La Mancha and Neo Sylphid. No map 3 to be played, as it is a clean 2-0 there by our Protoss player. And what do you think was the biggest moment of the whole match, Mr. Panda? What do you think is the notable parts that allowed Artanis to really rise up against the Zerg player?
Overall, I think it's the experience and the micro, because I think Vieira lost control of some of his Zerglings that actually died to one zealot in the moment. But yeah, it's experience and the micro.
Yeah, it really is a little bit different of how you play things, that's for sure. And guys, that is gonna be another match done and dusted. Do you think we're gonna do a giveaway again? Just kidding, not right now. We're gonna be looking to save that one for quite a while. Big debate right there. But shoutouts to our sponsors. Yet again, all the logos are down below. All About Gaming, your news site aggregate, someone you want to enjoy. Reading a few articles are, as well as following their pages to just get your latest news and information about all things gaming. They have Game Ako, a large streamer family. They've been doing it for 3 years, I believe, with 100,000 likes, and you can really see they have a lot of enjoyable content. And in the middle of the gaming, such a supporter of games like Brood War, games like CS 1.3. And if I'm correct, they have their own net shop, right? That's their thing. They have their own place. They've been holding a lot of tournaments, and they have their own broadcast as well on their Facebook page. So guys, you can check out those pages there that are sponsoring our tournament. On the community side, we got Mizzle, of course, with Stale Cookie, as well as Destroyer PH. And you guys are tuned in here at twitch.tv/ZachPH. If you want to support my stuff, you can check out my socials, which are... they show up on the overlay. You can check me out on Facebook, which is facebook.com/DaksCast. And we will be right back. We are going to be moving into another match. And this one is something I have been waiting on. I'm not going to already make you guys wait for what it is. I'm going to announce it. It is going to be our longtime veterans dueling Exoblazer versus Biagstar. So that's going to be a tough one to actually check out. So we'll be right back, set things up, and we will get into that matchup very, very shortly.